Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into a huge trend that's hiding in a very, very tiny package. We are talking about the small cookie revolution, and believe me, this single bite is changing the entire snacking world. Let's get into it.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You get that craving for something sweet, something decadent, but you're also trying to, stay on track. It's that classic battle between indulgence and just a little bit of moderation. Well, it turns out the hero of this story, the perfect answer to that dilemma, is the mini cookie. And this isn't just for kids' lunchboxes anymore. Oh no, this has become the definitive snack for a whole new generation. So how did this happen? How did these little bite-sized treats go from being just a cute novelty to a full-blown global phenomenon? Well, it all comes down to a really fundamental shift in how we think about indulging ourselves. And at the very heart of this whole thing is a concept called micro-indulgence. Remember that term, because it is the core idea driving this entire shift in our snacking habits. It really explains why, all of a sudden, less is so much more. Okay, so what is it about these tiny treats that make them so absolutely irresistible to us now? I mean, the psychology here is pretty fascinating. And let's be super clear about what micro-indulgence really means. This isn't about depriving yourself at all. It's about getting a premium, super flavorful experience in a small, manageable package. It's really the ultimate win-win, right? You get all the joy of the treat with none of the regret. So this all breaks down into three key drivers. First, there's mindful eating. You can satisfy that craving without that awful sugar crush later. Then you have what's called the variety effect. I mean, why commit to one big cookie when you can try 3 different mini ones? And finally, you just can't deny the social media appeal. These things look incredible on camera. They're practically made for TikTok. And listen to this quote from a 2026 industry report because it just nails it. It's not just about satisfying a physical craving anymore. It's about satisfying our conscience too. And that double whammy of satisfaction is what gives the mini cookie all its power. Okay, so we get the psychology. But what about the taste? I mean, that's what we're really here for. This small format has completely unlocked a whole new universe of adventurous, exciting flavors. Yeah, we are moving way, way beyond the basic chocolate chip here. The biggest trend is all about these new hybrid flavor profiles. You've got swangy, which is that perfect mix of sweet and tangy, and suavery, which combines sweet and savory. And this table just shows you how creative bakers are getting. Under Global Fusion, you've got things like miso caramel, which is driven by this craving for nostalgia, new twists on old comforts. Then you've got functional ingredients like turmeric, bold citrus like yuzu. The mini cookie is just the perfect canvas for all these experiments because you get this concentrated burst of flavor in one bite and it's never overwhelming. And speaking of viral trends, you don't have to look any further than the Dubai cookie. This little guy, this miniature version of that viral pistachio and kataifi chocolate bar, has become a total global obsession. It is selling out in specialty shops everywhere, from Dubai to New York. It's really the perfect storm of a mini treat becoming a cultural phenomenon. Now, this is not just some niche foodie trend. This is big, big business. So let's take a look at the massive economic impact these little cookies are having. Okay, get ready for this number. The global cookie market is projected to hit almost $47 billion in 2026, and a huge chunk of that growth is coming directly from mini and thin formats. Now, to put that into perspective for you, that's actually larger than the entire global coffee shop market. And if you want a more specific look, check this out. Artisanal mini cookie subscription boxes have seen a 25% year-over-year growth. That tells you everything you need to know. Consumers are actively going out and looking for these premium, small-batch treats. And, of course, the health and wellness movement has totally embraced the mini cookie. We're seeing them fortified with protein and adaptogens, made with alternative flours and natural sweeteners, and sold in these cool, sustainable, on-the-go pouches. A cookie is very rarely just a cookie anymore, is it? So after all this, you might be feeling a little inspired to try making them yourself. And why not? Let's bring this trend right into your own kitchen with a few professional tips for joining the miniature baking movement. All right, these 3 pro tips are going to help you bake the perfect mini cookie. First, The scoop really does matter. Use a small half-ounce scoop to keep them all uniform. Second, and this is so important, chill your dough for at least 4 hours. This is what keeps the cookies from spreading out too much and helps them keep that perfect chewy texture. And finally, the finish. Add a little artisanal touch like a sprinkle of sea salt or even matcha powder to make them look amazing. So we end on this question. This whole trend really proves that sometimes the biggest changes come in the smallest packages. It reflects a much bigger shift in how we're trying to balance health and pleasure and convenience in our lives. It really seems that when it comes to the future of snacking, small is the new big.